Welcome to Almost Live. I'm your host, Shane Phillips, and I'm here with Toby Simpson from Striver and David McKenzie from McKenzie Jones. We're talking about what should candidates be doing in a contracting job market. So what should candidates do in this job market?
Well, the point being that it's a very difficult job market. And look, here's the thing that people are reluctant to do. And all of a sudden, if everybody starts doing this, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. But what's happening is the number of systems in between the job seeker and the and the actual employer has become so much, and the volume of traffic flowing through those is that you don't get seen with a vast majority of the applications you make. I saw a job site the other day, and that job site advertised that 50% of our applications are viewed by a human being. So if that's the case,
that was the USP.
That was the USP. So if that's the case, if these guys are doing a great job, in a good scenario, you've only got a 50-50 shot of your CV being looked at by an employer.
But I think that's very good. I would say...
I do, but if you said that to a normal person on the street, they would be like, what? So most of the time I send out my applications and no one looks at them? And that, it's a worrying trend.
It's the LinkedIn effect, isn't it?
So here's the thing, it is the LinkedIn effect. Here's the thing that you need to do is please don't spam your CV everywhere. I know you hear that all the time, and I know it's incredibly tempting to do so. And unfortunately, a lot of these job sites make it easy to do that. But if you find a job that's genuinely good for you, apply for it. But if you haven't heard in 3 days' time, follow up directly. Yes. Call the switchboard, ask to speak to the finance director or whoever it is you're applying to. But genuinely, I think it is worth it nowadays to actually follow up.
I had a really interesting conversation with a candidate the other day. They said, what can I do to improve my chances of getting a job? And I said, what are the last 3 jobs you've applied for? And she was an HR professional. Oh, I applied for a sales and marketing manager job. I applied for an HR director's job. And I said, okay, which one of those 2 were relevant for you? Well, I can do the HR director's job. So why did you apply for the sales and marketing one? Oh, it looked like an interesting job to do. And I'm saying the problem you get is, on average, if we put an advert on LinkedIn, we'll get 800 replies. That takes one of my consultants about 3 or 4 hours to go through. So the
4 hours to go through 800?
Which we don't. So basically we automatically screen them. We use a tool to screen the CVs on keywords, which means the 50% effect I think is extremely good. I reckon probably 3% of people get their CV seen. I think it's candidates are doing themselves a great disservice in this marketplace. The only way you do a good job of finding your next job is by being focused. And that is the key.
So number one, candidates stop applying to jobs that aren't relevant.
Absolutely, you've got to.
You'll be disqualified.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think a lot of the CVs are going to a database and they're screened on buzzwords.
Yes, keywords, yeah.
Keywords. Or is that the PC term for it?
Absolutely.
It's keywords.
American English.
And I've seen this technology close up for Striver, and I've seen a lot of the different suppliers that do the ranking system for those candidates, and they are not yet fit for purpose. No. Hardly any of them. So it's not a good system. One
good thing you can do is in white ink, so it doesn't show to the human eye, and you just write all the buzzwords in.
The algorithms now counter that. I mean, that was done years ago on LinkedIn. You could do that when you put an advert up. You put all the keywords in white, but they just ignored now. So the problem is some of the technology is quite sophisticated at ignoring some things, but I think
it's getting better at what's called natural language in it. So it'll recognise a string of phrases rather than individual words and count individual words.
When you're applying to these companies, are they that sophisticated?
No, here, somebody asked me the other day, do most companies use screening tools or chatbots or whatever to screen through stuff? And I said, no, it's usually done by a fairly low-level HR person whose job is just to screen CVs.
Well, I know in the airlines, for example, they will use these screening tools. So they will get like 1 million or 2 million applicants, and it goes just really by the keywords or buzzwords.
Yeah.
So there you have it, the insights, focus, follow up, and use keywords. This is Almost Live. Thanks for watching.